which player or players need to step it up this coming season? I'm going to pick my 3 candidates. At the time of this recording, the league season hasn't started yet. The first player is going to be Paul Pogba, aka the dabbing Eric Jemba Jemba. That's what I like to call him anyway. Last summer, we splashed out £89 million on him. As far as I'm concerned, he is yet to fulfill and justify that price tag. In most of the big games last season, Paul Pogba went missing in most of them. He's going to get himself a reputation like Mesut Ozil, going missing in the big games if he's not careful. For example, the Liverpool game at Old Trafford. Before the match, he revealed his new emoji and treated us to another of his world famous haircuts. He also dyed his hair green, the same colour as the grass. God knows why. And in the game, he had an absolute shocker. He was terrible. Didn't know what he was doing. He missed the sitter. He was supposed to be marking Lovren, but he lost his marker every single time, and he gave away a penalty kick. Stupid penalty kick to give away. Putting his hands in the air. Stupidity from Pogba. Don't know what he was doing. He was lucky to be taken off the pitch at half time. He was that bad. Michael Carrick was the player that was substituted at half time. Paul Pogba must have been counting his lucky stars that it wasn't him. And when Carrick came into the team, he made Paul Pogba look good. Paul Pogba should have been doing that on merit, not hanging on the coattails of other players to get the best out of him. There's no question of doubt that Paul Pogba has the potential to be one of the best players in the world. I don't think he's there yet, and there's question marks whether or not he will be. But it's up to him. He's got the talent in bucket loads, as Louis Walsh would say. He's got to stop these stupid dances with Jesse Lingard. It's okay if we're on the verge of winning the Premier League and you're doing your dancing and all that, but don't do it while we're sitting 6th in the league and struggling big time. Because you're doing yourself no favours there. You're letting your critics criticise you even more. And the way to shut them up is to perform. And if he does that, those critics out there will have nothing to say bad of anything bad to say against him. So it's up to you. The second player is going to be Anthony Martial. Like Paul Pogba, he has the potential to be the best player in the world. His lovies out there seem to be blinded by his faults. Granted, he scored 17 goals in his first season. His debut goal was against the Scum. He scored the second goal at Wembley against Everton in the semi-final in the FA Cup. But for me, he's living off that first season. Jose Mourinho last season played him in one game, wouldn't let him play the next game. That was Martial's own fault. And during the summer, he sulked because Zlatan Ibrahimovic took his shirt number. He had off-the-field problems, which were well documented. We all know what they were. But for me, he's on borrowed time. If he doesn't perform and get back to his first season, then as far as I'm concerned, you can sod off back to France. And I think Mourinho will get fed up of him if he doesn't improve. Jesse Lingard was better than him last season. And if Jesse Lingard's better than you, you know you're in trouble. And you know that your time at Manchester United is limited. And I'm not a fan of Mourinho anymore. But if you wanted rid, I would go, do you know what? Mourinho, right decision. So, he's the captain of his own ship as far as his form is concerned. Buck your ideas up or leave. Can't afford to carry passengers. And the third and final player is going to be Jesse Lingard. I can't stand him. For me, he's got the brain capacity of a toddler. With his stupid dabbing and his dances, with his partner in crime, Paul Pogba. Both crimes against dancing. Plonk him at Wembley and he'll become a world beater. Plonk him in any other stadium in the UK and abroad, he does virtually nothing. We play Spurs at Wembley this coming season. My suggestion to him would be pitch a tent outside Wembley the night before the game. So then you can go, I've arrived at Wembley and I'm going to perform. It seems to be his spiritual home. He bought the Manchester folk drinks after one of the games at Old Trafford. That's all well and good. That interaction between players and fans has gone. In the 70s and the 80s, the players at Man United would mix in with the fans. That doesn't happen anymore. So maybe Lingard deserves a little bit of leeway. But he's come through the youth ranks. He's got that mentality. He's brought up in an area in Manchester. And he wants to give the fans something back, which is understandable, you know, but not when you're sixth in the Premier League. You can't go, oh, I'll bribe. It's just like bribery, really. If we came close to winning the league, then you can buy every single fan a drink. That's not a problem. But when we're lying sixth in the league, you're trying to butter up the United fans who go to virtually every home game, and they suck it up and they actually go, he's not that bad, Lingard. So they don't judge him on the pitch, they just judge him because they buy them a drink. That, for me, you know, I don't understand that. So that's my three candidates of who I think need to step up this coming season. Feel free in the comments below to tell me, have I picked the right three players? Do you have your own three players that you think need to step up this coming season that I have not mentioned? Or do you agree with my selection? Feel free to comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.